Welcome to episode 482 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn.
How you going, fellas?
Great.
Feels like it's fucking ages since I spoke to you.
Oh, yeah, good.
How good did you have? How good did it feels like ages since we spoke together?
How good that
You
it's
just say
not.
that. That's.
How good that it's not. I'd do this shit on the daily.
I swear you say how good just to fill the gap in expected words that I expect to see from you in response to something I said.
Look, just in case there's anyone out there playing bingo.
It's like your fucking spack filler. Oh, how you going, Glenny? You're a little bit quiet.
Oh, just it's been a big day. Just got back from touch football training as a C grade Brett Plowman type winger, and
And how are you without your Greg Inglis?
yeah, he
100% less effective.
yeah,
300%.
You're essentially a Knights player now.
Didn't see a lot of ball. I Kurt Manned it. I didn't see a lot of ball with the.
Did you go looking, Glenny?
I did.
Did you go
I did
looking
try
for
and go
ball?
looking, but fuck me, I got caught in the middle a couple of times, and I got no business being in there. And you could just see everyone's very encouraging. It's a great
So that's
club.
the name of your sex tape, right?
I've got no business being in there. Jackson did come down and support, and every time I ran a drill and caught the ball, he was cheering me on like I was a special needs kid. So he's.
That's hilarious. Fucking
Oh,
you made that.
Oh, the athleticism. Oh, the athleticism. Shut up, kid. I said
Know what you do? Walk up and kick him in his good shin.
Yeah. I was walking past, and one of the other boys, he was like, "Geez, he's giving it to you." I said, "Oh, mate, I'm going to punch that kid in the fucking moon boot. I'm sick of him." He may or may not have realised that I was the kid's father, but anyway, he didn't bring it up again.
But either way, he was on notice as well. Like, he had to fucking talk some shit. Like, I mean, if he didn't know, then you're just some cold-blooded motherfucker out there that's not to be trifled with. So,
and the thing is,
No,
Jackson,
that's
he doesn't, obviously in the group there amongst the boys, he calls me Glenn. So I get a lot of dive Glenn. I'm not fucking diving, mate. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not built for diving.
it's probably better. It's probably better he doesn't call you Dad though.
Yeah.
And then so like everyone's like, "Oh, dive, Dad." Yeah. Everyone's using these ones.
Yeah.
But you didn't cut your fingers when you were doing the oranges or anything, did you?
No oranges at training, but I'll probably wear gloves on Saturday.
Mate, all aspects of an organisation need to be fucking rigorously tested and rehearsed. So on the big day, it goes the way it
On
should.
the big day at 2:00 on
I mean,
Saturday
these kids are going to
afternoon.
be eating these fucking uneven wedges of orange on fucking Saturday, mate.
Man, I'll tell you what. I need to get our basketball team back to oranges
Yeah.
because there has been a fucking arms race in the snacks that are given to these fucking kids after the game.
So okay, so who's providing the snacks?
So
Parents?
yeah,
or
parents.
other parents?
No. So parents.
Yep.
And each week, you got to have one parent to sit on the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
We call them the Robbie Farah, and the other job they have is for the after game treat, right?
Right.
And so I've envisioned this as you would buy, because there's 7 kids on the team.
Yep.
You would buy a packet of fucking Freddo frogs, and give the Freddo frog to the kid.
Yep.
As you go. It's turned to the stage now where this week I'm fully expecting the parent to turn up with fucking individually named picnic hampers, including fucking caviar and 3 different soft cheeses.
And a little fucking mini fucking bottle of Verve.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And
Fuck.
it started off
What he's not saying is that this was a written directive from Jay himself. Don't bring any of that cheap caviar. Fucking
Yeah, okay, no.
Peasants.
So the arms race. So the first week. I mean, we don't have to talk about who it was or anything like that. The first snack was how many weeks have been going for?
6.
6. Okay, so let's just go back 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, what was the snack?
Oh,
It's escalated quickly.
It started
Cool.
off, and it was like a lolly bag, like
Right.
like you would expect from a fucking
Like a party, birthday
birthday
party.
party.
thing or something.
Really?
palm of the hand size with Then
like half a dozen things.
Then the next week it was just a bigger lolly bag.
Right, here we go.
Stop it.
And so then the next week it wasn't the fucking cellophane with string around it. It was the purchased Kmart fucking party bags.
Yep.
Then it's gone to Snap.
When's it your turn?
Oh, we've had ours.
Did you just bring Freddos?
No, mine was the worst. She escalated the size of the Snap bag.
Individual cupcakes with their team name and number.
She's fucking gone from like normal sandwich size Snap bags to the fucking industrial Costco size with a like
the ones that you fucking freeze a brisket in.
Yeah. Come week 8, they won't be able to field a squad because all the poor little kids will have fucking diabetes.
Oh, so and look, they're not the fittest little fucking group of kids.
Because they're full of fucking lollies. I remember with ours, it was always like then this is pre-COVID, obviously. It was a different time. So you could get away with this thing. But the coach would have this bucket of lollies like this big that would last him a season. And the kids is just like, fucking grab a couple, next in line, grab a couple. So there's no escalation. And all he has to do is remember this one big fucking bucket of lollies that he probably replenishes every season.
It's a simple time up here in Toowoomba. It's Freddo Frogs. And he brings a couple of...
big fucking steak. A fucking tomahawk steak for each kid. They can put it on their shoulder like a little fucking hobo.
They eat it raw like Bam Bam Flintstone. But
after the game, you get a crumb cutlet and a glass of sherry.
I love it. But so generally the kids will get two Freddos. Leo takes one for himself, and he's always makes sure to get one to take home or give to his brother who is on the sideline supporting him.
That's a nice little fella.
Yeah, he's great. In contrast to his brother, who is easily amongst some of the most selfish human beings to walk the fucking planet.
It's the age. I had a fucking incident tonight too that I won't go into the show, but fucking I almost fucking went crazy.
Yeah. Like, if the shoe was on the other foot, Jackson is shoving those two Freddos into his face at a fucking speed that Usain Bolt would be proud of, and Leo makes absolute certain that he gets 2 every week, 1 for his brother.
Yep.
Fucking, yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
But I just think that
this age is a fucking challenge, though.
Someone on Art's teams, one of the parents, has to be the one to take a stand and bring it back to Freddos. Because where does this end up?
Oh, look, it's easy. All I have to do is put a message in the fucking group chat and go, "Hey, can we calm down on the fucking, after game snacks?
Be careful of your language."
I don't know how next week we're going to fit the fucking 7 Sherpas that are needed to carry the fucking donkeys that are carrying the food you're going to give to all these fucking kids.
Yeah.
The next time they come out and it's like they fucking take the lid off a cloche or
that's it.
And it's the chef himself standing there.
What about the fucking the poor Pleasantville parents that fucking at the last game of the season where they give everyone fucking 7 days free accommodation and airfares to a fucking overseas destination just to top it off for the year. It started out at a Freddo cunts, for fuck's sake. How did we get here?
Oh.
And the kids will be like, yeah, airfares are cool and all, but where's the fucking lollies?
That's it, hey. Fuck.
All right.
Love it.
So, tremendous. Okay, now, we have a lot of news tonight, and there have been times, over the last couple of years, like quite often, where we've got bemoaned the lack of news to talk about, and it's always been like, dumb fucking, human interest stuff or
ex-players that are now D-list celebrities doing dumb shit.
Yeah, or arguments that Paul Kent had with some other dumb cunt on one of the TV shows on Foxtel, and they make an article out of that like it's a thing that actually, like it's news.
Can we please start doing that? Can we please, let's sit down here and discuss, so a great rugby league mind has said this, and it's just one of Glenn's tweets. And we'll just sit here and fucking discuss what he says.
Yeah. And then we'll argue about it, and then it'll be like going furor over fucking David Offilum or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Glenn and Jay come to blows over.
My Siri just started laughing, going, hee. Even the robots are fucking in on
I'm
it.
pretty sure Siri is just making you aware of her pronouns, mate.
It's just, it listened to me say ha 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 ha, so I had like ha 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 ha, and then it replied he. Yeah, you're not quite there on the AI front.
I'll tell you what though,
mate.
if they are planning to take over and they're just on a knife's edge of whether we're worth saving, cunts like Paul Kent definitely fucking bring on Judgment Day.
Yeah. And just like, I don't want to talk about anything specific about those guys, but like the argument of the day that's been going on, or the subject of the day that's been going on, I just saw the people on Twitter arcing up about what must have been tonight's episode, and they literally used the exact same talking point for every fucking subject. Like, so for this one's obviously like, you know, pride and stuff. Oh, sport's not political. And then Indigenous round or something, you know, Indigenous players not wanting to, you know, sing the national anthem. Sport's not political. It's literally the exact same fucking thing. No matter, just change out the fucking argument. Like, it's just
that's it.
Fucking just old cunts. It's just fucking die, for God's sake.
The role of politics is fucking policy and legislation.
Not to mention rugby league, I mean, exists because they wanted to get paid and they fucking split from union. But like, I mean, it's only been political since the fucking first day.
But that's not even political. What I'm saying is the job of politics, the job of politicians is public policy and legislation. That's it. That's it. Fucking issues surrounding who people are and how they feel inside and differences of opinion are 100% not political. They're social issues. You know? And being that rugby... Oh, fuck, anyway. I'm getting too fucking...
Yeah,
we're ahead of ourselves.
Fuck. Don't know. Well, that's the thing. We don't even need to talk about that side of shit at all because fuck those old boomers, like dead set. The first one, this one came to us as they often do, right before recording. And like we had a full slate, but I thought this one we didn't even speak about it last time, so now it's happened again. We may as well get on it. And Jai Arrow's fucking dog, Thor, obviously, he's Staffy Thor. Has ripped another dog apart after mauling another dog seriously. When was the last one? Probably a year ago. The last time the dog was being poorly attended to by Liam. What's his fucking name?
Knight.
Bagon.
Yeah,
Liam Knight. But to old mate Bagon. And that one, he left the fucking scene, and I think he tried to fight the victim dog's owner as well. Well, anyway, again, it's happened again. The dog was already deemed dangerous by the Waverley Council. It was in April, actually. Fuck, it was much more recently. That was down at Bronte Beach. So that was a $10,000 vet bill. Arrow ultimately covered that one. This one was an 11-year-old greyhound. And 100 metres from their home on the Central Coast. And
which is the fucking least aggressive dog you have ever met.
Yes, yeah.
Fucking hell.
So I've heard, especially like the rescue ones and that as well. Like I've had some people that have taken those guys in, and apparently amazing.
Man, when I lived with...
they're a bit weird and fucking spidery looking for my liking. But
when I lived with the Burger Boys...
Yep.
Like those things are legitimately a fucking cat in a weird dog's body. Like all she wanted to do was just curl up on whoever was there. Yeah, fucking yeah.
So the guy in question, I don't need to talk names, but the guy in question was walking his dog, and then Thor bolted out of a home and latched on, leaving the dog with a punctured thorax, dislocated jaw, multiple deep cuts, and dead. So I just wanted to we didn't talk about it last time. I wanted to bring it up this time. Jai Arrow should not be a fucking pet owner. Absolute fucking negligent cunt. And moving on to the next one.
I just want to say though,
comments, boys.
I feel like your point about pet ownership is the main point to make. You know, like. Yes. There's a way, and in my younger years, I've owned dogs that would be considered dangerous breeds and are very capable of harming other dogs seriously if they were in certain situations. The test as a pet, or the obligation as a pet owner, is to make sure that you are aware of the dog's capabilities, and don't fucking lapse for a second in concentration, because shit can get out of hand very fucking quickly. And
yeah, but also regardless, irrespective of the capabilities of a dog innately, it's also a responsibility to train them to the point where they'll heel at your command, and they won't just go out and fuck up another dog.
But that's what I'm saying.
To walk past.
Pet ownership.
Yeah.
It comes with the responsibility and an obligation to fucking parenting's another step. You don't want to raise a kid that's a cunt, and you don't want to fucking have a dog that's a cunt. It's not hard.
This is the thing. I mean, his kids are going to fucking be eshos.
Yeah, true.
At this rate, I mean, it's same.
Yeah.
Going to go stab some fucking kid.
Yeah.
For his fucking red TNs.
Fucking hell. Oh, come on, you dog. Fucking come on.
And then probably fucking would go up through the system and play for Penrith.
No, they'd probably stop. They'd probably stop when they got to Blacktown, and then realised that the culture at Blacktown's NRL club was too dodgy even for them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fucking even Eshos are excluded from prayer circles now. Fuck me, dude. Poor old Eshos.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Another minority.
They ultimately grow up and have shares in whatever that fucking Povo West beer that fucking tied to Vaseline. Nathan Cleary is chilling out there. Oh. Now, the next story is about one of the most grateful men of all time in Kevin Proctor, with his story almost immediately disappearing from the front pages and becoming far less story than it otherwise would have been. But he has been sacked. As a former captain of the club, he's been sacked instantly by the Gold Coast after posting a social media video of himself, an Instagram reel, in fact, vaping during his team's loss to Canterbury. Now, he was seen vaping inside, we've seen the video, I'm sure, he was seen vaping inside a toilet cubicle, uploaded with the caption, "Not the halftime vape," with him inhaling and shaking his head. At the time, the Titans were down 26-10. Now, Proctor wasn't actually playing in the game, but he was part of the matchday squad as the 19th man. And he violated a couple of things here with that vaping's not permitted in that stadium anywhere. Also, for integrity reasons regarding like online betting and so forth, players aren't allowed to have their phones in the dressing rooms either. So he's hit the 2 strikes on that one and was summarily executed by the Titans.
Yep.
He told he would be fined close to $15,000 and not welcome back to play or train, with his contract coming to a conclusion at the end of the season. So probably the end of his NRL career, although I wouldn't say that he won't end up in England, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But
his time at the Titans, particularly the last 12 months, have been very disappointing in terms of on-field performance. And it makes me think, with the way that they just discharged him instantly, that perhaps
they were looking for a reason.
Yeah, looking for a reason, but also perhaps he is a disruptive character, or perhaps someone who is emblematic of the culture problems that have seen the club go from being one pass away from the second week of the finals last year to being, tied at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, either that or what you would hope, especially if you're a Titans supporter, is that he doesn't even have to be a negative influence. He just has to not be a positive one. So whereas if the club looks at him and says, here's all this bad press, like, okay, any positive impact? No. Oh, no real negative one around the boys either, but no positive impact, bad press, that's enough. Whether that's true or not.
That's also disappointing to think, given his career to date and his time at Melbourne, and he came to the Titans obviously to bring leadership characteristics and traits, and fuck me dead. I'll
tell you what, this points to what I was talking about with Melbourne a little while ago as well, in the fact that gone now is that culture in Melbourne of hard work and determination and extra hours of training and not going out on the piss during the week or after games or any of this stuff. Back in the day, when somebody had that attitude or used to get up to that stuff, they were shown the door from that club very fucking quickly. Like, do you remember when he first left Melbourne? He wasn't the best that he's ever been, but, you know, it was a fucking get. It was a good fucking get. And then all of a sudden you get the cocaine scandal, you know, with him out there busting lights. Whereas now, it's the leaders of the club in Melbourne that have the fucking cocaine scandals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, the
alleged white powder.
I mean,
yeah,
it was. Well, no. It was definitely white powder. That was clear.
That's not
we all saw the video. Yeah, it was the cocaine part that was the alleged part.
It.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and like just
Now,
the fucking dumb shit. You're an athlete, and you're doing something where you're inhaling stuff into your lungs that reduces your fucking aerobic fitness.
Yeah, and look, there's one person in the mix here of this conversation right now who can speak directly to vaping, and who doesn't vape anymore. So I mean, you tell me.
Look, here's the thing.
How fucked is it,
mate? I used it to quit smoking, right?
Yep.
And for me, it worked exceptionally well. But I was determined.
But that was a tool to what reduced the nicotine dependence slowly, and then
yeah. And where other ways didn't work. But it reduced it, and then the trouble is you convince yourself that, well, it's not so bad. Because it is so much, and, you know, again, current medical studies, and I'm not a doctor, and yada, 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 don't fucking do it. But, like, there was a doctor on a show I heard the other day that was saying, if you don't smoke, you shouldn't do it because it's terrible for you. But if you do smoke, it's better for you than smoking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's, I had my little fucking episode, and the doctor said, well, we can never ever ever point to that and say that was the root cause of it, because you'd stopped smoking long enough ago that this really shouldn't. He said, I don't think it can be helping you.
How could they tell that there was between that and like the horse tranquilizers? Oh, no, you didn't have a stroke. You were just in a really big K-hole. The K-hole went all the way to China. But yeah, I mean, like, and so kind of, like, anecdotally though, that was what caused your, you know,
anecdotally
a fairly serious scare back about 3 years ago.
Anecdotally, it was more than likely a contributing factor.
Yeah, okay.
And
so there you go.
And you know
Don't
what?
vape, kids.
He's like, again, I'm not a fucking professional athlete, but if there was something that if I did it, it would impair my ability to make calculations or to, you know, analyze financial data,
I
wouldn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus fucking
It's just
Christ.
you know, like, he's not fucking 18 either. It's like the lack of maturity around it is what gets me. Like, he paid.
You just know with him that it would have been one of those giant fucking hooker setups, except he couldn't fit it in his kit bag. He would have had like a fucking four pot hooker thing set up. And, all right, my favourite story of the week, I've got to say, and once again, not a huge fan of religion this week, but the rugby league gods, they're not really they're a-religious. They're for everybody.
And I'll tell you what. This week, Nate and I have been accused of praying to the rugby league gods. But I must tell everyone that the rugby league guys are like Crom. The rugby league god's up there, strong on his mountain. He doesn't care about the pitiful prayers.
Can't believe you guys had a prayer circle without me.
perhaps he, I mean, perhaps he, but perhaps you could say he also has similarities to like Jorbu in Major League. I mean, he probably likes a bit of, I mean, rather than rum though, he likes a bit of whiskey, but otherwise,
no, we don't ask. The rugby league god just provides.
They just keep giving and giving and giving. We are the chosen ones of the rugby league gods, most definitely. And they delivered us the story that the Melbourne Storm. The Melbourne Storm are set to sign David Offilum for the remainder of the 2022 season. Apparently, they've had a desperate search for an outside back recruit, and he fits the bill. They did try through the back channels to get their hands on Reece Walsh, as well as contacting the Titans about the availability of Jaden Campbell. But now the Storm are going to get third best. Well, their third choice of the three choices provided. And it looks like Nofaluma is going south. So he was sidelined due to concussion before being dropped from the first grade squad for drinking while recovering from injury. So this move could see him, and I'm sure Stepdad will get to it in a minute, should see him make a career-first finals appearance after his 2013 NRL debut. Yes, it goes on to say that they want to fill the gaps of Ryan Pappenhausen, Remus Smith, George Jennings and Xavier Coates. So apparently they also tried to get Dane Laurie, Adam Dewey, Ken Mamalo, and also then went to the Bulldogs to try and get Josh Adokar, and then they went to the Panthers to try and get Robert Jennings. So I'm sorry, he wasn't the third choice; he was about the 18th choice. And by God, they got their man.
He's not the man we want. In fact, he's not even on the top 20 of the men we want, but he's the man we got.
I'll tell you what, the Melbourne Storm now know how Glenny's wife feels.
Poor Glenny. Now, as our resident Tigers fan, and dare I say expert, nay connoisseur, Glenny.
Hang on, just clarify that comment about how my wife feels, please.
Well,
which angle are you taking there?
Well, they didn't get their first choice, but they got a man. They have a man.
Okay. I thought you were trying to say she was going through or something.
That is not going to get a Nate giggle. That will not be getting a Nate giggle. Fucking hell.
Hey, I didn't say that shit. I didn't say it. What did I do?
He's like,
I just deliberately misconstrued something for comedy purposes, man. What did I do?
I've heard lots of people say that. I wouldn't say it. I'd never say that.
I'd never say it.
But you're hearing it more and more.
Wow.
All right, Glenny.
My wife's not off limits to you pieces of shit. Fuck me, dude.
I love your wife. You know that.
Sadly, she loves you too, Nathan.
Just wait for the day you stroke out, fella.
Quite fucking frustrating.
Make my move.
Tomorrow you get a box of vapes turn up on your doorstep.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm going to DM Kevin Proctor and ask him which fucking flavour he recommends.
Freddo frog flavour.
Stop it. I'll fucking take it up if there's one of them.
Macca's coffee flavour. Oh. Glenny, sorry, we're getting off track, mate.
Not fucking Zinger Nuggets flavour, that's for sure.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Pack of cunts.
Yeah, I forgot that they were too hot for you.
They were. I'll tell you what's too hot for me. Fucking David Nofaluma. He's fucking... Tell you what, he's a wanted man. I can't believe that the irony, a man that said that he was worthy and deserved to play Origin and finals football.
Fuck yeah, I forgot that.
He deserved it. And he's got what he fucking deserves. And the irony that literally they had to cut through a fucking swathe of other human beings that were not interested and were not willing to be offered up by their respective clubs. And the Tigers went, oh, that guy, yeah, fucking take him. I have one concern, that he spends somewhere 6 to 8 weeks playing for the Storm, and Bellamy gets in his ear and fucking turns him around and makes him into the player that he already thinks he is. That's a danger. But sadly, I think Melbourne are already on a slide, and David Offilum is not the man to stop a slide, and we've seen that with, since 2013. He's just... I was critical of Dean Eremia and some of his defensive reads and inability to cover fairly simple attacking structures defensively for Melbourne, and it was glaring, the chasm between his level of talent and some of his teammates. David Offilum is going to make Dean Eremia look like fucking Ken Irvine. I'm fucking baffled. I'm baffled. The Storm used the word desperate earlier, Nate, and it's a strange one. I would think that Bellamy would have spent enough time whenever the Storm have played the Tigers and David Offilum has been listed in the lineup, picking apart his defensive liabilities and to the Storm's absolute gain. We saw it last year when they beat us by 60. And here they are wanting him to fucking suit up for him. Fucking, it's baffling. Absolutely baffling. He's obviously out of favour at the Tigers now across two coaches.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because with the second Noddy came in, he was back in the side after being exiled for a couple of weeks, and so he thought, well, okay, he's Noddy's obviously been watching behind the scenes, and he's like, okay, this is one of Madge's mistakes. Noffa's been left out. It's my call now. He's coming straight back in, and it didn't last that long.
No. Obviously, disciplinary reasons, etc. I
think Noddy's a fucking faster learner than Madge, if it proves anything. I
suspect so.
Can I point out the person I'm most fucking worried for in this entire situation? The one person that is at most risk of taking a fucking toaster bath over this whole thing?
Grover?
Harry Grant. Can you fucking imagine having to play...
I thought I was out and the
an entire fucking season? An entire fucking season. And then the next fucking time... And I bet you Bellamy makes him his buddy or something to show him around Melbourne.
His roomie.
He's like, oh, hi, Harry. Oh, I've missed you. Oh, it's good to see you again. We're friends, aren't we, Harry? Fucking, oh, my God, that poor guy. Of all the mental health that's been commented on being needed to watch out for this week, fucking, I need a whole round and fucking jerseys with Harry Grant.
Grant round.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine, Noffa walks up going, with the big high five, Harry, bruh. He's just going... I don't know, you bitch. Fuck you.
But it was like when you had to go play with your cousins that you didn't like.
Yeah.
And you see your dad standing behind you. You just see Bellamy there going, Harry.
Yeah.
Okay.
The weird cousin that's 16 and still plays with farm animals. I had one of them.
I've recently done the Sopranos rewatch, and it's like when fucking AJ gets forced to look after Bobby Barker.
Yeah, that's it.
When the family having dinner and shit.
Oh fuck! I'll tell you what, I was very lucky. My cousins are dope, but we had second cousins that were a little bit
Yeah. Right. Okay, so just the final word on this one, Glenny. You're happy to see him gone for the next 6-7 weeks?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being on the other side of the fence, laughing.
Interestingly enough,
so if he's making his mistakes, if he's doing the A&B stuff to the Storm, and you're watching it, are you like, oh fuck, that guy's a loser, or you're like, oh, what did they do to my boy?
No, because he'd be doing exactly what he's done for the Tigers.
Okay, cool.
It's interestingly enough, we did a quick ladder predictor today.
Yes.
And being as harsh, like making Melbourne lose all of the games that I think are realistically possible for them to lose, given their current form.
Yep.
I can't get them to finish any lower than 8th.
Right.
And it's because they play the Titans and the Warriors in their run home.
And that's kind of the next 2 weeks for them, I think, as well.
That's it. So, like they get Penrith on the road home, and there's a bunch of other teams that could realistically beat them, especially given their other one. I think they get Para and Souths.
The thing to remember at the moment is the Melbourne Storm are very easy to beat.
But here's the thing: if the Titans or the Warriors can fucking jam 3 down Noffa's edge, he is literally the only thing that will stop him from playing finals football.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine like
Noffception.
And he turns inside to fucking like bark at the guys inside him, and then like Nelson just like, what did you say?
It's like one of those fucking things in movies where all of a sudden like a finger snaps and he looks around and he's in Bali with Nelson in front of him.
All right,
that's it for news.
Moving on to our final. No, we got our final story. We got the biggest story of the year, and obviously there's multiple fucking parts to this one that just need to be broken up and probably dealt with, as they come. So let's just do the story straight up first. On what day was the 25th? So Monday. On Monday morning, Manly announced they're proudly wearing a rainbow detailed jersey that they called their Everyone in League jersey, which is in collaboration with their jersey manufacturer Dynasty Sport. And the Dynasty Sport director said, sport's one of those great things where people come together from all walks of life and participate in something without exclusion. This jersey is a celebration of that and first of its kind in the NRL. The Everyone in League jersey is something we've wanted to do for a number of years now, and as soon as we got the concept locked in, all parties have contributed to make it what it is, and it's something we're all proud of. The design itself maintains the iconic Manly DNA with the striped design and maroon, but with the subtle inclusion of the rainbow colours, which are a nod to inclusivity for everyone in league. The interim CEO, Gary Wallman, who I think is the CEO until Friday, because Tony Mestrop starts on Monday, I believe. The Sea Eagles have a rich and diverse history of rugby league and in the community. To be able to bring this concept to life with Dynasty Sports is a fantastic achievement, and we're pleased to be able to share such an important message that means so much to so many people in the community. And jerseys pretty much sold out. What day is it today? Wednesday. So the jersey was, they announced it Monday morning, sold out 12 hours later. And then they're going back again and doing another pre-order that I believe ships in August, in late August. So first thing, the jersey's fucking fire. And I missed out on the first drop just simply because I had to get down to my computer where I've got my membership details saved to log in and buy it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do that in the morning. Sold out fucking overnight. But thankfully I did the pre-order, so I'll have mine in for Father's Day, which is great. Now, where do we go next? That's the straight story. Obviously, now the chaos that ensued in that 7. Well, they say 7 religious, but to my knowledge, 4 religious players and 3 people who just don't give a fuck about the club decided they would stand down because they see the rainbow. And they think that for religious reasons, they can't possibly wear rainbow instead of white stripes on their jersey. I don't want to get into a fucking giant dissection of actually like religion and shit. To suffice to say that it's fair to say that the 3 of us agree that as a reason for anything like that is
horse shit,
bullshit. Yeah. Can I tell you
and unacceptable?
The bit there that fucks me off, first of all, is that they don't say it's for religious reasons. They say it is for religious and cultural reasons.
And cultural,
right?
Yeah. Yes,
which is a nice fucking way of saying it's my culture. And it is.
And I guess unsaid it's racist to
exactly. Yeah.
Question my.
Well, not so. Yeah, racist, but it is. It is a massive fucking issue at the moment in trying to be sensitive to cultures, especially of First Nations people, especially of those that have been so fucking badly brutalised by Western society. Funnily enough, mostly by fucking religion. Christians. But that's the bit. That's so fucking disingenuous to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Well, here's the thing, though. Everyone's looking at parts of their culture, and if there's a part of your culture that's fucking discriminatory, then that's not okay.
You can actually be the change that you want to see in the world, and maybe take steps into trying to address that, and removing it from your culture.
Yeah.
People have the power to do that.
Yeah.
People have the power, especially whether they like it or not. People who are role models, based on their occupation, which is professional footballer, they have the opportunity to not only just be the change they want to see, but to lead the change that they want to see in their communities, because they are seen as leaders of their communities, like it or not. And so let's name these players. I just need to get the list because just so I don't forget anything. But it's I'll just count on my fingers. Toff Sipley, Homoli Olakwatu, Josh Aloye, Tolu Kola. They're the religious ones, I believe. The ones who are on the who are supporting the boys would be Christian Tuipulotu, Jason Saab, and I'm missing one. Who's the other one? Fuck. This is why I need the list in front of me of the players. Oh, Josh Schuster, of course. How could I forget? And they're the 7 that are stepping down. I suspect, I don't want to condemn the guy because I don't know for sure, but I suspect that Ray Vega is also one of them. Wasn't playing first grade, but has been in the top squad for the last couple of weeks, and I would imagine that he would have got the call up, and he's not in the side, so I have to assume that he is someone that's like just declined, his first grade debut based on this nonsense, and and so like first things first. I mean, these players are fucking dead to me. Particularly, there's 2 levels of dead to me. Like the ones that are like the super religious ones and do actually live it. Like someone like Josh Aloye, for example, is so religious to the point where I think he's going to become a pastor after his rugby league career ends. As fucked as it is, the belief system is, like he actually believes it. So there's those guys that are dead to me. Then you got the guys that are just supporting their boys and don't actually hold any strong beliefs as to, they're just doing it for that they would go and assist in cunting the club's season, which is what they are doing for no firm belief system. They're like my mother-in-law level dead, which is like buried an extra fucking 10 stories underneath the ground, never to come back. That's the first thing. Hey, Glenny, there you go. You're back. I lost you for a second then, Glenny.
Sorry, I've been here. I was listening.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you just dropped off my screen. Yeah, what else? I've had to actually go point by point here to fucking to look at it. And what this has done? Obviously, it's overshadowed the fact that the Manly Seagulls are the club after all the other clubs were offered the opportunity to do this. They're the only club that said yes to do it, and they've taken a massive fucking bullet here because the discourse that has risen around it, I truly believe we'll probably see a pride round come into the NRL, perhaps even as soon as next year. Given the support that other clubs and things like that have given now that the bullet has been taken and they don't have to put any skin in the game and they can pontificate from their safe fucking platform. But, that's great. If nothing else, it's great that it's kind of the the door's been kicked open and the teething pains are all going to be fucking borne, by the Manly Club, and hopefully for the community, we can go forward and have a round next year. And having a round next year then hopefully means you won't have players sitting out because they'll have, a full year or months and months and months to rationalise reasons why they can wear the jersey against their beliefs, like they, serve gambling companies, alcohol companies, have tattoos on their skin, and so on against their beliefs. So, now the downsides, I think, while I don't feel that a rugby league club should ever have to fucking clear a jersey design with the playing group, and guess what? It never fucking happens. this process has been going on in the background for a long time, and whilst the release of the jersey may have been sprung on the playing group, and they might have only had like a week or two to come to terms with it, it's not something that the club fucking designed and printed up in a week. I mean, this has been coming for a while. I know it's been a 12-month process, in discussion about it and locking it in, and to say for them to claim that there's no stakeholders being consulted or anything, obviously at board level this was well and truly discussed. Then you've got the football. Then you've got the football club board, the district football club board. They have to sign off on any jersey change that removes the basic maroon and white. So if there's any changes, that it has to be approved by the football club board. So to say that there was no consultation is ridiculous. There was no consultation potentially with the football department and the players. And, look, their beliefs are bullshit. However, I think if they had have consulted with them maybe a little bit sooner, maybe, say, got someone like Ian Roberts in to go eye to eye with these guys and talk about some of the struggles that he's had in his life and what it all means, perhaps we would have a different outcome as well.
I think what they needed was to get Ian in there to rape them. And just show them the fucking power and how fucking subservient all those dumb little cucks are. But no, keep going.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't need to do that. I mean, look, I'll meet you halfway and say that he could have offered them that perhaps if they wanted the fucking Gary Jack experience. Yeah, he went into PowerPoint, and all the PowerPoint is just like a meme template with the video of the Gary Jack fight with text over Gary Jack that says homophobia, and then text over himself that says me. And it's just, and then you just watch the video, and while they're watching the video on the projector screen behind him, he's just sort of standing there like sort of bouncer pose, and he's just eyeballing him, just like, and then they're sort of like side eyeing the screen him, and it's like, we'll wear the jersey. But I mean, look, there's really there's nothing funny about this. I mean, I have never been so proud of the club. I've never been so furious with any players in the club as I have been in this time. And like when I say dead to me, they are fucking dead to me. And it's a tough fucking pill to swallow, because I mean, there's some fucking guys that I love there, and we're hoping to see, who probably will fucking serve the club going forward, for a long time on the field, no matter how dead to me they are, because like I got a fucking say in the matter. Now where are we? Daly Cherry Evans' leadership and captaincy this year has been such a year for his legacy with his play, the Origin stuff, and now his leadership through this. He's a fucking great guy, and I'll never hear a fucking bad word about him. And the way he spoke was amazing.
Some would say you hear a lot of bad words about him, Nathan.
I don't hear it. They are said at me.
I feel like you react, and that would indicate that, yes, indeed, they do seep into your ear holes, which would mean you would hear them.
I don't. Well, you're partially right. They are said at me, and I know they are being said at me, but I don't hear them. I just know I'm just reacting to the fact they're being said, because, my God, I mean, if there's one thing I can't tolerate in this world, and I mean this week particularly, ignorance is it's an affliction of society, and I cannot fucking tolerate it, and so
and here he is, right on cue. Over to you, Jack.
We've got the Manly 7, and then right here we've got the fucking TWiL 1, and they're both sitting there defending their right to believe in imaginary superheroes.
I just don't think any of this is like. This is not a fucking funny matter. This is a very serious issue, and I think trivialising it by trying to make jokes and do voices.
Real talk.
It's really fucking disappointing.
Real talk. Now, Daly did well in the press conference, with a delicate issue, with a fucking delicate issue.
It was a no-win issue, and look, he and Desi should never have been the ones to fucking do it. But with a chairman who is so hands-off in the club and lives in fucking New York, he wasn't going to do it. And they've got an interim CEO with the new long-term CEO starting on Monday. There was kind of a little vacuum in there as well. So it kind of like it had to be them. Now, the fact that it had to be them was one thing, but there could have been like a lengthy fucking statement or something released, or a written thing or a press release or something like that. So the fact that they actually fronted up to what was obviously going to be, some pretty tough lines of questioning in the press conference, showed like massive balls and fucking and responsibility, for the club, which is fucking great, and I cannot give them enough credit. And Desi, on the other hand, he also had to juggle some. Like, he had to do more of a juggling act than anyone, because not only did he have to address the issue, he had to try and do it in such a way where he didn't completely hang the players in question out to dry, and had to somehow keep like the player group together, which is obviously his responsibility, so the entire thing doesn't fucking implode, and become a multiple fucking week ongoing issue. I mean, I've seen people like the Mole saying, "Oh, this player's not happy and he's going to do this and this." That's all. It's not true. The one thing that has come out of this is that, as always, Desi's beloved by the players, and what he did do when he was doing his press conference, apologised to fucking everybody. And I mean, that was, as a player, his nickname was Sorry, because he was like Jake, like he tackled someone too hard, he'd apologise on the field, like when he made the tackle. So, and fuck me, he fucking apologised enough in this one. And I mean, he apologised to every fucking group you could possibly find in this entire situation, and at the same time making it about the lack of trying to put the blame for the severity of the reaction on the club's lack of consultation, thereby doing what is probably the greatest talent as a coach that Desi has in creating enemies to bond the playing groups together. I mean, I don't know if we needed the Gandhi quote in there, but otherwise it was one of the less mumbly fucking and clear speeches that he's given in recent years.
How much of that do you reckon he prepared?
The whole it was 100% prepared,
prepared by him or prepared by someone else.
No, it was prepared. It was prepared by him in conjunction with. I don't know if I've got any. It is known.
Okay, cool.
Who the ghostwriter was. The ghostwriter who it was written with was the friend of his, on the autism spectrum that he spoke about in the thing. I think that was
Daly.
That was the person with no, fucking Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
This is
that was a Cody Walker level intercept. Yeah. It was fucking floating there.
I'll just sit back.
It really was, but it also shows me that you didn't actually delve into this issue, and you're just looking for little fucking footholds with which to sink your little claws.
I think that you are 100% right in that it was a no-win situation. I'm looking at this through a different prism than you are. You're looking at it, and you're looking for reasons to be proud of your club and its associated people, and you have found many true instances of that. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at what was potentially missed here in terms of setting a bedrock. And, you've joked about it a bunch of times, like, oh, Manly, the only club with the balls to do it, and this. And you're right, they were the first.
That's not a joke, though. That's actually true.
They were the first ones to do it, but they've missed some fucking golden opportunities here. Are they paying the players to sit out?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, in a perfect world,
I wouldn't be, but you've got to wonder when you've got a players' association and stuff.
Yeah,
you have to wonder.
But this is the thing, though.
Is the least friction to get the to, like as Daly said, to focus on the 17 guys who are wearing that jersey and fucking proud to wear it.
Yeah, which is great, and that's what you do.
Is there less friction instead of kicking up an ongoing thing where then you've got the players' association saying you can't do this, and then it becomes this.
But what would
distraction from the actual key issue?
If a player said, "I don't like fucking maroon, so I'm only going to wear the white jerseys. And I will sit out the games where you wear a maroon jersey because
I would expect that becomes given the away jerseys or the home jerseys maroon, then that becomes like literally a half a season sit out scenario where the players clearly
exactly. So you end up with,
but also they can't hide behind some sketchy, culture. They can't
exactly.
There's nothing they can't justify from that
exactly. And this is what I'd have loved if there was some fucking. If there was more time, and I know Manly didn't have any time here, because if they'd have...
This is literally 3 days.
If they'd have been able to go and get some fucking legal advice, then 100% you go down and you say, that's fine, but the reason you don't want to wear this is because of your religious/cultural beliefs. So we need those detailed and documented to us, right? And then all of a sudden it's, well, hang on, why this one? And it becomes, why this one? This now becomes discrimination because you are happy to play on Sundays, or because you are happy with the gambling sponsorships and you are happy with the alcohol. You seem very happy with alcohol consumption at club functions, Yeah. And not to fucking mention, these cunts are happy to take the field every week with Dylan Walker. No one fucking stood down or threatened to not wear the jersey for that one.
Yeah. The problem with the Dylan Walker thing though is more complicated because he was not guilty. You know what I mean? So they can there's your just rationalisation that they use on that.
100%.
They're all about rationalising everything they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
but
which is it's fucked.
The interesting thing is, and this is my thing, where now those players, and I will say this to any player of any fucking club, be it my own or whatever, and I do know that Penrith have a fucking fuck ton of them. Right? Anyone that wants to sit out a game based on something that is just celebrating, not excluding somebody because of their fucking unavoidable personal identity.
And also, to make it clear, this jersey is named the Everyone in League jersey. They're not calling it the LGBT plus jersey or the fucking, they're not coming out and saying, they're calling it the Everyone in League jersey and using rainbow on it.
That was,
and so if that
was
threatens you that much,
I don't believe that for a fucking instant.
Well, that's a fact. It's in the press release. I mean, when they announced it.
No, I know that's what they're saying. They're calling it. But my take on that is they're at the fucking board meeting and they go, we want to do a pride jersey. Oh, we've got a bunch of those fucking Bible bashers in the team. We can't call it a fucking pride jersey. I don't care. Call it a fucking Everyone in League jersey. Just make it have a rainbow on it. That's what fucking happened.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Problem is, it wasn't the word pride that was the problem. It was the fucking rainbow, wasn't it? Yeah. And here we are.
Exactly. But for them to get in there, and I'll tell you what, I got some fucking great old quotes here. There was one that came through, and I did some research.
Any from Gandhi?
No. Because of... so in James, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, if you have committed one sin, you are guilty of all. Now, that's not even in that fucking Old Testament shit. I was going to come here and, go through all of those stupid fucking sins that are in the Old Testament.
All Leviticus shit.
If a woman has her period, she must sit in a hole for 3 days and rub horse shit on her face to whatever. Because, God's all about equality. The funny thing is, that is where their justification against gay and lesbian people. That is like Leviticus stuff that like prohibits the tattoos and shit as well. Now here's the thing:
shellfish and
oh yeah, exactly. So these are all things. Now remember, what did we learn, Bible study children? That if you commit one sin, you commit all of them. That means all sins are equal in the eyes of this fucking loving, wonderful fuck cunt. So
and you're one and done.
Exactly. One and done. Adultery. Sorry, Uppy.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's one of their that's one of their fucking their greatest hits.
Exactly. Anger. Anger is a sin.
Whoops.
So every time you're angry...
We got 6,000 hours of documented that shit.
Every time you're angry, in God's eyes, you are taking a fucking throbbing 8 inches straight up the arsehole.
I feel myself starting to
God.
spontaneously combust.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna fucking make those inches cumulative, I'm probably taking about 6 million this week.
Call me Jay Solo.
I may
divorce.
just spontaneously combust right here.
Drinking parties. That's mentioned once. Drunkenness is mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All in the New Testament. 9 times that drunkenness
Oh, fuck that 6 times this week.
is a fucking sin.
You wake up like that way and fucking hair of the dog takes you to work, Glenny.
So hang on. Fornication. Straight sex. Not even gay sex. Straight sex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
That sucks. I love fornicating.
Now, here we get down to homosexuality. In the New Testament,
New Testament.
1, 2, 3 times. So God hates premarital sex more than gay sex. So I'm glad all of those 7 players that aren't married are fucking virgins.
I'm not on board, God. I'm not on
Because,
board.
you know, otherwise, when God looks down, they might as well be gobbling cock. But the biggest one here, the one I fucking love that's mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times is the sin of hypocrisy.
Oh, which is the best one.
So there we go. Playing on Sundays, gambling and alcohol, fucking on the bags, doing all this shit. But no, I have a problem with the fucking rainbow jersey because of my religion. God hates you more than the gay people.
Because
fucking eat it.
Because you're a
fucking
cunt.
hypocrites. Yeah.
Biggest takeaway from me, and one of the best sound bites to come out of it was when Ian Roberts said, you know, what does this do to young Manly, you know, potentially Manly fans or even rugby league fans that are struggling with their sexuality and struggling to find the bravery and the to come out? And what does this do when players that they, you know, like it or not,
Potentially your heroes.
it or not, that players that these kids may see, or anyone may see as a role model, or you know, they look up to.
On the last census, Glenn.
And also, it's not just the players that are the heroes. It's also the fucking discourse from the boomers and the fucking people like
The
on
reaction,
television, like Paul Kent and stuff, with the you know, like, holy fuck, the amount of like, it's been a week where people have really been fucking telling on themselves, and I got to say, I lost a fuck of a lot of respect for a lot of fucking people that I've seen online that I didn't know that well. They were just like Twitter, sort of, you know, guys you follow on Twitter and stuff, or people you sort of know, you know, peripherally. But holy fuck, there's the amount of like performative boomer shit is just fucking mind blowing. And if you're a kid that's struggling, you boom, hit 1. The fucking players might be your favorite player or something.
Yeah.
Boom, hit 2. All these fucking boomers saturating fucking social media saying, when's it fucking heterosexual round?
No,
like,
but that's the thing. It's the actual actions of and decisions of the players. The fact that as we've discussed, it seems like a fucking cop out, and their reasoning and justification for it. But the reaction by the wider population in large part, and their reaction shows that there is still very much a stigma, and there is still so much work to be done for acceptance for all minorities. But you know, the gay and lesbian community, you know, the spotlight's on them at the moment with this issue, and I just find that it just shows how far there is still to come. That players couldn't look at the situation and think, you know what, I'm going to wear that jersey. It's fucking important, and it's
and you know what,
I reckon
if they are. Yeah, and you know, I think that, you know, the club probably could have been more proactive if they had got that, what you said, even verbatim, coming out of like someone like Ian Roberts who's lived it out of his mouth. You know, perhaps it would, you know, it would have, you know, got sunk through to their dumb fucking heads.
Because no matter what happens during this game now, and no matter how well received it is at the ground and at the game, and how well the media spin it, it's still been diminished in my eyes. The actual action of it has been diminished.
But here's the thing.
It's going to be fucking... The ground is going to be crazy with the amount of rainbow stuff that turns up there for a fact. Everyone I know who's going there is fucking, you know, pretty much decked.
I need this. I need this to be as big as... Like, do you remember when Israel Folau went to England? And his first game, the owner of the other team, like the team that he played, made it like, you know... free tickets for the LGBTQ community as long as you dressed in rainbow clothes and bought a sign with you. And so it was just fucking all over. But
do you know the problem is though, these 7 aren't even going to be at the ground.
According to the census, it's roughly 3% of the population who openly identified on their form as being part of the community. Stats don't work this way. Right, you know, it's not an equal distribution across all facets of society.
But if you're doing it, if you're doing like a napkin or on the back of a coaster at a bar,
but it works out at about 1 player per team per NRL squad,
right?
That would identify as part of that community.
Which brings me to my point.
Right. You know? So it's only like 15, 16 players across the top 30 squads.
And I saw something the other day. I was scrolling through TikTok while I was in the gym. Which is a great way to actually look like you're doing stuff. Get all that fucking feel-good thing about I've been to the gym but not actually work. And do you know,
it's all dopamine, baby.
Exactly. Thank you, Huberman. But do you remember when they used to impersonate Fui Fui Moi Moi on the Footy Show?
Yes.
Like, that's not that fucking long ago, right?
No.
Where a fucking white guy would get on there with a dreadlock wig and put the fucking fooey, you know, it's funny because I don't speak English very well, or because I don't speak English in the typical way that you would expect someone that speaks English to. And it makes me sound like, you know, I'm not very smart, and I don't understand your questions, Like, that was okay not that long ago. And it's
like Jonah from Tonga and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
TV series.
Fucking hell. But But yeah, it's a fucking brown face.
Like, fuck me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's not included in the Pride on the Weekend. I'm not happy for him.
No.
But not because of his sexuality, just because he's a fuckwit.
Who's that?
Chris Lilly.
Ah.
But since we've had players from different cultures find their voice, you know, it's only been in the last couple of years, I reckon 2 years, that they've gone, actually, that's not how you pronounce my name. This is how you pronounce my name. And you know
and you've actually seen, like, you know, the larger commentary teams mostly try and, you know, do it the way that they want them to do it.
Now that
accurately,
that was correcting a fucking mistake. There was no one there going, this is how I'm pronouncing Corey Harawira Naira, and if anyone says that I shouldn't do that, I will boycott this game. No one was saying that.
No.
They just corrected a fucking mistake, and it took them that long to feel comfortable in doing it. So how the fuck does anyone feel comfortable in moving this issue forward? Like, statistically, the fact that Ian Roberts is the only openly gay player in the history of the sport is an anomaly in itself.
28 years after he came out.
Yeah.
And, like, look, I mean, as a Manly fan, obviously, Ian's always going to have a special place in my heart. And like, he was clearly one of the, in his time, was one of the fucking hardest cunts on the field as well.
Fuck yes.
But my fucking God, the discourse that we get today about this issue 28 years ago was caveman times in return. How fucking hard is that guy to come out in 1995 or whatever year it was?
That's it.
the courage
when no one else has had the courage to be able, to do it
Yeah.
in 28 fucking years.
I feel like my level of and I've always had a level.
I reckon just courage is the wrong word there.
Yeah, well, so the feeling
the capacity
ability
to do
be
it.
accepted. Yeah, and just the feeling like, if you got 7 guys that are standing down a team, what if there's some fucking guy in the Manly juniors coming up, and they're like, well, fucking these are like, guys I want to win comps with and stuff like that, and then 7 of them are sitting,
This is my lifelong dream,
and this is like, it's my lifelong dream, win comps with these guys, but they don't know this, but they're just like fundamentally fucking rejecting my being.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's fucking terrible. But like, look, I mean, I don't know if you guys are just about finished on this. Just a couple of anecdotal things that I would like to finish up on. I've got a lot of LGBT friends, and many that don't have a fucking thing to do with rugby league and don't follow sport. The amount of messages I've got from them through the week, and some of them have bought the jersey, and so it just gives me hope that at least it's doing what it intended to do in some part. And then there's another friend of mine, Glenny knows him. I met him probably 15 years ago through travelling to Manly games and stuff like that. Now, this guy was the biggest Manly fan that I've ever met in my life. I'm saying to the level, like, I think he won the Member of the Year one year. And when I say big fan, he's the fan that flies to Townsville, New Zealand, Perth, every game, home game, comes to Brisbane, goes over the World Club Challenge in Leeds, like that fucking level of, like, sticking to the team. When Tuvi got sacked in 2015, he was like, so fucked off at Penn, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm out. Now this guy is out and openly gay, and then yesterday he renewed his membership for the first time since 2015 based on this, and it's actually brought him back into the fold with the club. So
that's a good
some
story.
things coming.
I like that.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to save that one to end it, and you know who I'm talking about, Glenny. Yeah. So it was a good story, and I wish that was those sorts of things were the stories that were leading, rather than these other 7 fucking moronic dead to me.
I just feel like that
deceased players.
There's somewhere, based on the statistics which Jay brought up earlier, there's prayer circles going on with the percentage of the members of the prayer circle who think dicks are delicious, and that should be okay. But they're rejected by the rest of the people based on cultural and religious beliefs, which is fucking ridiculous in this day and age, in this time.
And it's fucking and it's just terribly sad for them too, because like there's so many levels of, like emotional fucking
absolutely
bigoted, like,
and you know
red
what?
tape between them and living their true
The
selves.
reasoning and justification to use religious and cultural beliefs as the reason, to me personally, my personal opinion, is a cop out. If it is legitimately that's how it is, then those guys that are part of that community that identify as homosexual, that just has to tear them apart, and that's not fucking okay.
But the crux of the issue is, there are some religions where it is a religious belief that a man should be able to beat his wife if she fucking misbehaves.
Sure.
And what that religion considers misbehaving. So can I go and do that because that's my religious belief? Because all religious beliefs are sacred.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, guess what? You're chucked in jail.
Exactly. What are we fucking saying here? And the saddest part is that the vast majority of the people in these uber fucking right-wing, because that's what they are, religious groups, have this very Americanized, Pentecostal diatribe, where realistically, do you know what you are to those fucking people? You are a fucking customer. They want your money. It's part of all these fucking religious services that you tithe fucking 10%
X%,
of your wages, and they prey on the lowest socioeconomic classes that they can fucking find. Mm-hmm. And it is absolute bullshit.
Your fucking cash register.
The reason that they use this is because one of their fucking tools, and it's tools that cults use, is to create an us and them mentality. Because if you can create an us and them mentality, God says those people with that lifestyle over there, they're terrible and they're coming for you and they're going to get your children and they're in the schools and they're this and they're this, but you have to stick with the church. Don't ask any questions. Don't ask any questions and you'll be okay. That's their fucking tool.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, and that tool is so successful across all levels of society.
And I'm going to fuck your wife.
If you want to demonize, like, you know, if you want to demonize Sudanese people in Victoria,
that's it.
For example,
that's it.
They're home invasioning fucking people, you know, whatever.
Yep, spot on.
Like, yeah, it's just that the way of othering people is just it's fucking despicable.
And what I want to know, for every fucking member of that church who's been blessed by God enough to buy their parents a house, how many other members of their community are giving 10% of some fucking pretty meager earnings to this church every week?
Yeah.
For what? How many of these fucking churches do you go in and guaranteed, NRL players aside, perhaps, who does the nicest car in the car park belong to?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Go into
fuck
it.
Me, you put it in America, they got jets.
Exactly. But even here, who does the biggest house belong to?
Yeah.
Do the
head of
kids
the cult.
Do the kids of the fucking church leaders go to the problematic public schools that are underfunded, that don't have pathways for kids with learning difficulties? Do their kids go to those schools like their fucking, fucking people in their church? No.
Yep.
It's close to a fucking crime.
Yep. And the last word on 07, made the choice to fucking stand down. Whereas the people that the jersey is for, they didn't make any choice or anything. That's just fucking, that's the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's it's honestly fucking, it's fucking tiring. It's been a tiring fucking week. And let's get into the fucking previews, which segues into the first game, of course, with the mighty Manly Seagulls,
or
the mighty
Seagulls,
Manly Seagulls, the mightiest Manly Seagulls, I must say, taking on the Sydney Roosters at Brookwell on Thursday night, and the Manly side obviously looking very different with Jason Saab, Christian Tuipulotu, Tolu Kola, Josh Aloye, Amoli Olakwatu, Tofafor Sipley, and Josh Schuster out after dying of homophobia. So we've got Pio Seki, who is a 28-year-old Fijian international on the wing. And my new favourite fucking player, I know nothing about him, next to nothing, Alfred Smalley, coming into the NRL with the name of a fucking, like a 1940s cricketer. and I hope that this fucking young man gets 4 after 4 all game on fucking Thursday night. So other players that have we have seen before, like Kurt DeLuise, Ethan Bullimore, they come into the side. Jakey Turbo returns, Croker returns, Davey returns, all from COVID, and James Sigiaro, after fuck me how long, has dug his way up from Blacktown and from wherever he was before that. I mean, he was at the Broncos at one stage, right? And then but like, when was that? That was years ago, wasn't it? Like, I mean, there was
maybe not last year. But yeah.
When did you have Appy? Because we got him when you had Appy.
Oh, fuck! That's a few years ago then.
Yeah, and may I also say, James Sigiaro, a player from a country in which homosexuality is outlawed, is wearing the fucking rainbow jersey. And so whatever he's done in the past, taking the fucking roids and all that shit, clean slate. Fucking the man is stepping up this week, and finally with Sean Kepi failing to overcome a shoulder injury, Zach Fulton will make his debut, and Zach Fulton of the famous Fulton bloodline, and let's hope that he's got more of his dad's ability in him than Bob's sons. The Roosters side. Okay, so Joey Marnie returns at centre. Hutchison drops to the bench. Collins prop. Lodge is benched. Where are we? May and Kieran drop to reserves. And yeah, last lineup's coming in tomorrow night, but I'd say cupboard's fucking bare. The cupboard is fucking bare. Literally, our wingers are fucking part-time players. The cupboard is bare. And so I don't think there'll be any changes to us. And hopefully Jakey Turbo and Croker don't have any of that fucking long COVID because it's going to take fucking worldies from both of them boys in the middle.
I hope Manly win.
Look,
all things considered, I hope they win.
Honestly, for the Sydney Roosters to beat Manly in this game would frankly be homophobic and unacceptable, and it would make them a fucking unwilling participant to the important conversation that Manly started with this jersey. So just remember that, Roosters players and fans, coaching staff, and Uncle Nick himself. Do what you got to do. But obviously, surely there's no way that fucking Manly can win this game. If Manly can compete in this game and it's like kind of, 10 to 16 points or something margin at the end of it, that's almost a win given the players they've got out, because it's not just the deceased fucking 7 that they've got out of the club, out of the side. They got Sean Keppie's out, Tommy Turbo, Ben Turbo, fucking Carl Lawton. There's about 14 players out of their 30 that aren't in this game. Well, actually more, because I forgot about the other fucking dissenters that are in the 30 that aren't playing because they haven't been named. Ray Vega. So, look, if they can somehow, if the Roosters play their worst game, and Manly without Sean Keppie in there, frankly, their completions will probably improve. They may complete it 100%. and Desi might give them some sort of game plan that just fucking low error, fucking high completions, high possession game, which takes the ability to concede points out of their hands a little bit.
Yep.
And if they can win this game, I swear you will not fucking hear the end of it, and it will go down as the greatest fucking win in the history of the club. To be spoken about ever more in the same hushed tones that people say the sacred numbers of 40 and 0.
Fuck me. Okay, I changed my mind. I hope the Roosters win. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, all that Toowoomba, it's fucking made you all homophobic up there.
Look,
fucking
there's been enough.
Diggers do not like the gay community.
There's been enough connotations and innuendo about my affliction for the caramel male that I don't know that I could ever be accused of being homophobic.
Yeah, but they wouldn't wear a jersey on your behalf if you were gay.
Fair point.
Next up, look. The Roosters, if the Roosters don't win 13-0, they're fucking kidding themselves.
Yeah.
But look, I am so proud of the 17 guys that are fucking taking the field. The likes of of Daly and his leadership, and if they could win, I would probably fucking be bawling my eyes out at the end of it.
Hang on a sec. You're so proud of them, the guys that are actually going to play. You're so proud of them for putting on the team uniform and running out onto the field,
fighting on the side of truth and justice.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How many pride jerseys are your fucking spoon fucking team wearing this week, Glenny?
Mate,
I thought so.
They're barely proud to wear the fucking jersey itself.
I'm glad you fucking got that. I fucking put it up there and I didn't know if you were coming through to dunk it. The Warriors take on the Storm. Friday pub slot game. And my God, have I mentioned recently how easy it is to beat the Melbourne Storm? They should be in this pub slot.
They're not playing at home, Melbourne.
Oh my God, they're playing in fucking New Zealand of all places. How far can they slide down the ladder here? Now, Reece Walsh returns at fullback, probably after he knocked back the Storm. So, all right, young man, we need you. Chanel Harris Tavita, he moves to 5'8". Dejan Arce out of the 17. Jesse Arthurs and Jack Murchie are out. Marcelo Montoya moves to centre. Don't know that. Edward Cosi joins the wing. Curran returns to the back row, and Jackson Free is added to the bench. Storm side, okay. Starting 13 unchanged. Jordan Grant replaces Eisenhuth on the bench. No sign of one D Offilum in the 22 just yet. So obviously he's not that fucking essential. But yeah. Like, surely the Storm break their fucking slide.
Imagine the Storm take him on board for the rest of the season. He doesn't get a game. It's fucking delicious. Delicious. Funny.
I thought I was trashing on players from my own team this week, Glenny, but you have set new levels.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah.
I guess Noffa's refusing to wear the West Tigers jersey. He actually is,
Exactly.
not just a euphemism. Right. Surely the Storm slide stops. I mean, the Warriors did start very strongly in their return to New Zealand, and but it was the West Tigers.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something about the Warriors being a bogey team for the Storm, or am I imagining that?
They have had some very famous boilovers, like the 2011 first round of the finals when it was 1v8. There have been some situations. I don't know if you go so far as bogey team, but they have won some famous victories. This one, I don't think really.
Oh yeah,
has
the last one was
to
70-10.
Yeah, and that was that was the one with Cameron Smith fucking sitting in the dressing room, right?
Yeah, no, scratch that. Absolutely no bogey team vibes at all.
Yeah, and I don't think this game has the gravitas that can become like an epic fucking upset for the Warriors. But look, if they can pick up this game, then Stepdad will have to pull out the fucking ladder predictor again, because the door may be opened.
Yeah, that's it.
Because this is one that you no doubt have just given the Storm, right? And I think the Storm will win. They can't be sliding forever, and the Warriors aren't great competition. I mean, the teams that have beaten the Storm over the last couple of weeks, have been some of the better teams. But with them perennially sort of first or second on the ladder, you always felt that the Storm were in it. But on this occasion, I think the level of opposition is sufficiently reduced to the point where I think the Storm will get them.
Yeah, I can't.
They may step up early, like last week, but I think the Storm can run them down.
Again, the Raiders took till late in the game, and then put points on with some very fucking simple plays. So it wasn't like Canberra needed to go to any great lengths to beat them. So Melbourne,
100%.
The Eels take on the Panthers Friday night at CommBank Stadium. The Eel side, they just bring Cartwright back into 15. He replaces Jacob Arthur. And the Panthers side, so Crichton, Mitch Kenny, and probably most critically Jerome Luai out injured. Jennings comes in the back line, O'Sullivan into 5/8 and Staines on the bench. And Jerome Luai is set to be out for, 6 weeks, which takes him out to the end of the regular season.
Yep.
And you could never say out for the season, because obviously Panthers guaranteed at least 2 weeks in the finals.
Yep. Look, you have to tip.
The Eels will be up for this one.
They will. And this is, last week I said we're against the Broncos, who turns up. This one, it is crucial that the performing Eels team turns up. And I don't think there's anything about, they had a bad performance last week and it wasn't a great performance a week before. I'm not sure they have it in them to just bounce back of their own accord. They're definitely in that stage where they need something to get up for. They need something external to motivate them.
Yeah, I think playing the top side on the ladder is the thing.
Exactly,
that's the thing.
And especially the side that knocked them out last year. Because if you remember, Penrith were fucking struggling.
Yeah,
Penrith were fucking struggling. They'd lost.
It was a world class poor performance from Ray Stone. The fact they didn't have Reid Marnie there, that was the only thing that stopped them probably going through the grand final, to be honest.
Oh, no, Penrith would have fucking Reid Marnie. What the fuck are you talking about? No, it was destiny. It was always going to happen.
Do you remember what Ray Stone did
at
the end
100%
of that game? I mean, he was like he had 2 broken arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of broken, I think Parramatta are broken. I think Cleary steps up big time without Luai, and I honestly think Penrith will give Parramatta a bath.
I think they will too. I think Luai, he's been a bit off.
He has.
Anyway, since Origin, and so I think maybe just the extra responsibility on Cleary and maybe not having to defer to Luai or spread it around so much and just sort of take charge himself.
Play both sides of the field.
I think it'll be a different look Penrith attack, but I think it could potentially be better than it has been over the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
I think. Next up, where are we? Saturday afternoon, the Gold Coast Titans take on the Canberra Raiders at Hope Solo Coliseum. The Gold Coast Titans side, Tino moves to prop, Clark to lock, Liu to bench. Kelly replaces Corey Thompson. He drops to the reserves in number 19. The Raiders side, 100% unchanged. In their lineup, the team that came home over the top of the Warriors.
Oof.
I can't see...
Titans are A's,
Yeah,
Raiders.
I cannot see the Titans challenging the Raiders at all. I think the Raiders finished strongly last week, as you said, and there's just not enough in the Titans. And they're not well coached. Their star players go missing, and they don't have what it takes to contain what is essentially the crux that every Raiders win is built off is the work through the middle of Papali and Tarpanay, and up front, I don't think the Titans contain them, and I think the Raiders win easily.
Yeah, easily. I think the Raiders will win and win well, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a scoreline sort of like last week either.
Yeah, okay.
Like because the Titans can put tries on in a flash, like length of the field type situations. So I think Canberra Raiders have obviously got a better defensive performance in them than the Dogs had, but this could have aspects of a shootout to it. At times because some of the that first half from the Warriors. Yeah, it wasn't great. It didn't reflect well on Canberra either.
No.
But Canberra, I'm 100% certain they'll win. The Sharks take on the Rabbits at Reclaim Australia Stadium. The Sharky side, 100% unchanged. The Rabbit side, Mark Nichols is out, and so he's replaced by Saluka Fafita, but otherwise unchanged.
This is going to be a cracking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago you asked me that, I say, the Rabbits.
Yep.
Based on what the Sharks, they showed me something last week, and I think it's really starting to click for them. Where remember there was that period there where they lost to the Broncos.
Yeah, they were hit and miss,
and they just started to look a bit mid. But they've really started to kick after Origin. They've really started to gel, and like Nico Hines is looking fucking phenomenal, and yeah, it makes it a lot harder decision. I mean, you asked me last week, I probably would have said, Rabbits straight up. But now I'm just not sure. Hey,
I'm going to go the Rabbits.
Yeah.
Just and again, I've said it for a couple of weeks now, the Latrell Mitchell factor.
Exactly.
I think that the two sides match up well. And you look at the two players that are capable of, ultimately, above all others, capable of breaking the game apart. I think Mitchell outstrips Hines and the Rabbits win.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't know. Hey, I'm always favouring the Sharkies a little bit. But what's the betting on that one, Glenn? Have you got it in front of you?
We'll do in 2 seconds.
I think if the Sharkies can get out to an early lead, then they may be able to keep the Bunnies out. But if South, if it's a contest for the majority of the game, or if South's put on a couple of quick ones, I think the Sharks just still have a little bit of that panic in them. And South Sydney being that team, like they're starting to get back into that form where they run those sweeping plays out to the left, and it doesn't look like it's at lightning speed. They're not doing anything tricky. There's not even really any fucking decoy runners. But then all of a sudden they've got a fucking 9-man overlap, and you're like, how the fuck did that happen? You know, so
Sharky slight favourites. $1.71 to $2.15.
Yeah. Nah, still rabbits.
Right, the Broncos take on the West Tigers. Saturday night, Suncorp Stadium. Come down, Glenny?
Possibly. Haven't got tickets yet, to be quite honest.
Right. The Broncos side, Billy Walters returns. Fucking Billy Walters revenge game. Turpin's out of the 17. Hoyter replaces Pereira, and Dane Mariner debuts in the centres. Lee drops out of the 17. The West Tigers side. Seafarth replaces Luke Garner in the starting side. Garner is out. What's happened to Garner? He's out completely this week. And
I don't know.
Diaz joins the bench. Glenny,
Look,
is there a will? Is there a way?
I think we showed last week against a highly favoured Queensland team that we came away with a fucking victory for the ages. And I feel like this game will be no different. The Broncos are flying. Tigers are running last. All I can see is the Tigers win.
Any particular I mean, you got to sell this, man. What's the rationale? Where do they beat them?
No, look, I'll be interested to see how they come out after the disappointment of last week. Obviously, Dane Laurie was phenomenal against the Cowboys. I think there's opportunity for him if the Tigers can compete through the middle in the early stages of the game. At the back end of each half, I think there's opportunities for Laurie, and I think Hastings can find him space, as well as, Tuilagi on the edge. He seems to be building a bit of a combination and sort of following those guys around a bit, which is it's good to see. And Laurie's involvement in the game increased dramatically last week, and I hope that continues. So it brings an extra element to the team. Let's be real, the Broncos are going to be fucking difficult to beat. They've been in good form and they're having a great year, but I honestly think the Tigers can win.
I do not. Broncos 13 plus.
Motherfucker, you asked me to sell it. Jesus.
Yeah. No, I'm not buying. Sorry.
Okay, right.
Sorry, didn't you see the sign
Glenny.
on my fucking door? It says no canvases.
Your cause is so hopeless. Ian Roberts would not have pride in it.
The Newcastle Knights take on the Bulldogs Sunday afternoon in Newcastle. I tell you what, those cunts are getting a lot of fucking home games lately too. They're very Melbourne Stormish. The Knights side, no Ponga. Lachlan Fitzgibbon, he has a shoulder injury. Sexy Texy comes in at fullback though. Jones starts lock. Croker joins the bench. The Bulldogs side, Avarillo back at fullback. Casey drops out of the 17. Corey Waddell was initially named, despite being suspended for 5 weeks. And Raymond Fatala Mariner is out, with Jackson Topine replacing him in the back row. The Knights are fucking AIDS right now.
Yeah. And the only potential for points would have come through Ponga, who's not playing. So Bulldogs are...
Yeah, well, look, Tex always a fucking sensation, and you'll probably get a hat-trick, or at least a hat-trick of try-assists, I'm certain. But the Doggies have actually got, they've got a good team vibe going at the moment. Whatever Potter's doing is working. They're obviously enjoying their footy. And, they've shown an ability to score tries outside of the Matt Burton or Josh Adokar doing it route. I mean, let's face it, there is the Matt Burton and Josh Adokar route that does get half their points, but other guys are doing shit too. Marshall King, he's doing stuff. He's starting to build nicely for his career at Redcliffe.
You're selling it, and I'm buying it. Dogs are $1.50 favourites, and I think deservedly so. And I think even if it was just the Burton and Fox show, I think that's enough.
Probably enough. Yeah. The Dragons take on the Cowboys at Jubilee. The Dragon side have lost Cody Ramsey to a knee injury.
Oh no!
Moses Mbai he will start in the fullback position. Jack Bird in the centres. Sims starts at lock. Aaron Woods on the bench. along with Tyrell Sloan. Jaden Sullivan, shoulder injury. The Cowboy side, unchanged, with Ruben Cotter named in the 20.
I don't know that the Cowboys can bounce back from their devastating loss last week against the Tigers. I think Jubilee Stadium, happy hunting ground for the Dragons. No, who am I kidding? Cowboys are going to fucking smash them by about 80.
The Cowboys are going to be so fucked off about the shit that they've had to listen to for the past week that they are going to do this one. There's not going to be a 80th minute challenge this time.
There may be a 50th minute challenge where they challenge a referee to fucking call the game off because the Dragons all died.
The only challenge, the only challenge that they're going to have in the 80th minute is how many beers to pour down fucking Valentine Holmes as he converts all of their fucking 25 tries that they're going to score in this game. Yeah. Oh, that was the last one.
Yeah, fuck the Dragons, fuck their fans, and I hope the Cowboys. You know, this is an indication of what a pack of cunts I feel like the Dragons fans are. That the team that fucking stole 2 points from the West Tigers last week, I hope they absolutely obliterate St George.
Could be Tigers karma.
Yes.
And the Dragons get the win.
No.
No? All right. Oh well. If you're not coming down, let me know. We might have a chat while the Tigers are playing the Broncos.
Yeah, I always like the.
If you're not coming down the mountain, well, I'd hate you to be a shit fan and not come down to watch your team.
Mate, real talk, Glenny.
That is by far my preference.
Why aren't we doing our fucking hot ones this week? Now that good old moon boot means you don't have to go to sport.
Well, I still have to go to sport.
Why?
Because
he's not the coach or the trainer. He's actually playing. He's an integral part of the team. He's their David Nofaluma.
Yeah, but I am. Actually, I am, and not in a good way.
They're not going to send him to Dolby, though.
So just say you're being sent down south for a fucking loan.
Oh, brilliant.
Love it.
Boys, that is full time for episode 482. Thanks for listening again. If you'd like to support the show, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TWiL Nation. Other general housekeeping stuff. Discussions have been going on the October situation for grand final weekend, and look, we're looking to get down there. Even if that place is fucking ravaged with COVID, I will fucking wrap around my face and walk through the streets as the non-COVID immortal that I am. Just to press the flesh with some of you dickheads. Anything else, fellas?
No,
that's it. One?
Can you please refresh my memory on the topic for the episode? Because it was something about Desert Island. How many things on a desert island? Was it 3 or 5?
And what kind of things?
I don't know. You were supposed to be fucking sending out the reminders.
Yeah, but you brought it up, cunt.
Yeah, you brought it up.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to send out the reminders, but you tell me what you said.
Tell me 3 things you said at fucking 10:30 this morning. That was fucking 6 weeks ago. How am I supposed to remember that?
3 things. Jay's a cunt.
Vodka empty.
Jay's a cunt. Nate's a cunt. Jay's still a cunt.
and I need that quote for that digger. There's the 3 things.
I should fucking hang up on you right now.
Who's got my fucking Carl Felt voodoo doll?
Can you swing around to Macca's and get us a coffee? Tell them to Irish it up.
Brilliant.
Right. That's it, boys.
All right, we're done.
Always a pleasure.
Wish I could say the same.
Talk to you next time.
See ya.
I hate those things. Nobody hates rainbows. Yeah, what's there to hate about rainbows? Well, you'll just be sitting there, minding your own business, and they'll come marching in and crawl up your leg and start biting the inside of your ass, and you'll be all like, "Hey, get out of my ass, you stupid rainbows!" What the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about rainbows. I hate those friggin' things. Rainbows are those little arches of color that show up during a rainstorm. Oh, rainbows. Oh, yeah, I like those. Those are cool.